Hey, welcome to a new video. In 2015, hacktivist group Anonymous claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on Fox News during a live broadcast. This occurred during the morning news program of the Fox News network. Whether you agree or disagree with Anonymous's methods, seeing the screen glitch followed by the masks and a deep voice is quite unsettling. Anonymous eventually released a statement claiming they took over the program in response to the network's biased reporting and divisive political agendas. The group accused Fox News of spreading misinformation and propaganda to further its own interests, and called on viewers to demand more transparency and accountability from the network. Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. Whoever thought up this prank with the mannequins put a lot of effort into it. In the elevator were two mannequins who were taken and two people dressed as a mannequin leaning against the wall. When one person finally got into the elevator, they got the fright of their life. People's reactions ranged from laughing to screaming, and in one case, praying. If you were standing in that elevator and that big mannequin suddenly came to life, you probably would have been startled too. Marcus Green is a YouTuber with about 20,000 subscribers. In a video he uploaded, he explores an abandoned house with a friend. First, stories circulated about this house that it's full of paranormal energy. When they try to enter the house, they see that it's already open, and there's a handwritten message on the wall that says, "Start at your own risk." As they walk further, they come across a door on the upper floor that reads, "Do not enter." It seems like someone has made a game out of this house. This house is very big and seems like a maze, especially in the dark. When they explore the upper floor, something falls on the ground, and they hear a sound. Listen.
What was that?
What was that?
Dude, let's get out of here.
They heard a sound of something falling on the ground. After hearing this, they didn't stay long and quickly searched for the exit. But they panicked a bit because they couldn't find their way back. However, in the end, they were able to come back safely. A group of friends came home from a nice hike in the mountains, and when they decided to watch the video footage back, they saw something terrifying. They were in the mountains of Talang on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, and seemed to be followed by a mysterious figure. The group of friends claim they didn't know the figure, and believe it could be a demon or a spirit of a woman who got lost on the mountain. The more you look, the creepier it gets, as the woman appears to have a pale face with black eyes and white hands. People in the comments claim that the figure was trying to communicate with them. Unfortunately, there's no more information about the truth of this video, but it has certainly scared the hell out of many people. In this video, people claim to see the face of a ghost lurking behind Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Former US President Barack Obama and then Vice President Joe Biden were given a speech at the same time. The face of the ghost is quite eerie and can send a shiver down your spine. Throughout history, there's been numerous reports of supernatural phenomenon and demonic figures appearing in windows and other reflective surfaces. These sightings are often associated with haunted locations or areas with intense spiritual energy. Do you see the creepy face behind Obama, and do you think it appeared randomly, or could it just be an object? Okay, this is pretty much the weirdest thing I've ever seen, so I can't help but put this event at number 1. On January 18th, 2019, at a residence in California, Sylvia and Dave Duncan's doorbell camera had captured something quite bizarre. The man who was later identified was licking a doorbell for 3 hours. You heard that right, for 3 hours. In that time, you could have just watched 2 movies. The strange thing about this is that he realizes he's being filmed, but continues to lick away. Sylvia and Dave were not home that night, but their children were asleep when this happened. Fortunately, they were laughing about it themselves, because technically, he didn't hurt anyone. Later, it turned out that the man had stolen an extension cord used for Christmas decorating and had peed in the garden. But seriously, licking a doorbell for 3 hours? I wonder why this man did this. No explanation was ever given. When I came across the following picture of a creepy creature with long arms and a little white-like face, I thought this was pretty creepy. So I went to investigate and found the video where we see the creature walking down the street. Fortunately, this is not a real creature, but a costume that was made by the YouTube channel General Tampon. This costume was supposedly made specifically for Halloween to scare the crap out of people. It's said to be inspired from the creatures called the Landstriders from the 1982 fantasy film The Dark Crystal. In this video, they go to the streets to scare people, and they did quite a good job. Just imagine if you came across this thing at night. In 2007, a group called Zetoven hacked into a live broadcast of a Czech television network to make a statement about media manipulation. The incident was part of a larger project named Media Reality, intended to spark discussion about the media's role in shaping public opinion. During the hack, Zitoven interrupted the regular evening news broadcast with a pre-recorded video depicting a nuclear explosion in Czechia. Frankly, witnessing a nuclear disaster unfold on live TV can be quite frightening, but fortunately, it was digitally animated and not real. Deanna Simpson lives in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and claims that her house is haunted by more than 5 ghosts and even a demon. The woman has even posted videos and photos on social media showing ghost-like figures. In this video, when she's home alone, she asks the ghost if he can close the door.
If that is you, would you please shut that door? Oh my God.
When the Fox 43 TV station went to interview her, they also experienced several strange things in the house. For example, the cameraman is said to have been scratched, and the reporter claims that she was pushed and pinched.
Nick has been scratched, I've been touched and pinched.
There would even have been a voice of a woman captured on camera.
Come here.
If this story was fake, it would also mean that Fox 43 was involved. So I believe there's a good chance that this story actually happened. If you don't like scary clowns, you should look away right now. This doorbell camera footage was captured in Wisconsin in the United States. In 2017, sightings of clowns happened a lot around that time. It was even a trend, but this video is pretty creepy in my opinion. If you look closely, the clown stands still in the darkness for a while, with balloons in his hand to observe the situation from afar. At one point, the clown decides to walk away quietly to the front door and looks straight into the doorbell camera, as if he knows he's being filmed. A story circulates claiming that the clown was famous in the area, and that he supposedly scared several people. After looking into the camera for a while, the clown suddenly decides to walk away again. A construction site became 100 times creepier when the cameraman zooms in on the background, revealing something unsettling. Workers were cleaning up debris from a school that had collapsed due to an earthquake. In the background, however, you can see a creepy face peering through the cracks of a wall. According to official police reports, no one was supposed to be there as everyone had already been evacuated. This led many to believe that there was the spirit of a deceased person making one final appearance to the world. Unfortunately, to this day, it remains unclear what exactly it was. But one thing's for sure, the face looks so eerie that hopefully it won't haunt your dreams. Caitlin Speaks is a YouTube user who uploaded a video in 2013 titled "There's a Ghost in My House." He tells us that his family was still asleep when something strange happened in the hallway downstairs. If we look at the security camera footage, we see the dog next to the trash can. What's strange about that, you might ask? If we slow down the footage, we can see that the dog is next to the trash can, which should mean that someone or something had to push the trash can toward the table. But according to Caitlin Speaks, there was no one in the room at that time. He thinks it might have been a poltergeist that could have thrown the trash can toward the table, causing the dog to get scared and try to run away. According to him, it couldn't have been the dog itself, because it should have been running towards the trash can, not next to it. Pretty creepy, huh? As people entered this elevator, the elevator floor was ripped away from under their feet. Where do you think they'll come out? A Japanese TV program showed the reactions of people who unwittingly stepped into an elevator and almost immediately fell through the floor into the abyss. This camera, of course, captured their reaction in slow motion. There were people who screamed, who stood with their mouths open, and also those who accepted their fate. Of course, it wasn't a real abyss they fell into, but a slide that took them to another area. The Proper People Vlogs has a YouTube channel with about 107,000 subscribers. These guys explore abandoned places, and in one of their videos, they explore an abandoned asylum late at night. The video starts with them in a car driving down a long, creepy road with bushes and trees on the side. They arrive at the building and explore it, finding a lot of trash on the ground and graffiti sprayed on the walls. When they reach the top floor of the building, there seems to be a light shining in one of the windows. At certain moments in the video, they also seem to hear voices. Take a listen. When they come down and take a look outside through a broken window, they see some kind of courtyard with a staircase leading up. But behind the staircase, they seem to see someone.
Oh shit. There's somebody there. No way. Yes, I see their light.
This gives them a weird feeling, and they decide not to continue exploring the place. When they get outside and back to the car, they also seem to hear other things coming from the woods. When they say hello and get no answer back, they decide to leave the place, which in my opinion is a wise choice, because the feeling of being watched can be very scary, and you never know what could happen next. The Angry Grandpa Show was a YouTube channel that was very popular and allowed a look into the life of an angry grandfather. In one of the videos that was uploaded in October of 2011, he's sitting outside on a bench and is asked what he thinks of camping. At the end of the video, we see a head appearing behind the trash can. Nothing was said about this in the video itself, so the comments are full of people wondering what kind of figure was hiding behind the trash can. The figure has black hair, black eyes, and a gray face. Most people believe that this was the head of a spirit child who showed himself. What makes this event even stranger is that the figure was never even spoken of. So we can only speculate what we see. What do you think? This is probably the only lottery you wouldn't want to win. The draft lottery of 1969 was a significant event during the Vietnam War that had a profound impact on young men in the United States. It took place on December 1st, 1969, and was broadcast live on national television. The draft lottery was designed to randomly select men for military service in Vietnam, and it was such a tense and emotionally charged event that you could feel the anticipation. The lottery worked by drawing random numbers from a pool of birth dates, with lower numbers being called first for military service. The lottery aimed to be a fair and impartial way of selecting soldiers, but it was also highly controversial, especially among young men facing the prospect of the draft. This event, of course, is something you hope to never experience. On April 17, 2017, around 2 in the afternoon, in the neighborhood of Newmarket Park in Auckland in the United States, a man walked up to the front door of one of the houses. 15 minutes before, he rang the doorbell to see if anyone was home. The homeowner who was inside at the time was listening to music through headphones, and therefore did not hear the doorbell. When the man in the hoodie received no answer, he walked away again, and returned a short time later with a friend, believing that the house was empty. His friend stood guard on the steps while the other men kicked against the door. When he tried this a few more times, the owner of the house heard this and yelled, at which point the two men quickly ran off. So this is exactly why people have doorbell cameras. However, unfortunately I couldn't find what else had happened. But it's scary to think that this could happen to you. People often talk about certain TV show sets being haunted, but you might not believe it until you see it with your own eyes. At first glance, everything seems normal, and the live broadcast proceeds as planned. However, upon closer inspection, behind the woman, you can discern the outline of an almost invisible figure that shouldn't be there. Is it a ghost? Could it be someone who lost their life on the set? Or perhaps the figure had a connection to the staff? The Bodmin jail is a place in Cornwall, a place in England, and has attracted many paranormal researchers. There's a tour available here for tourists who can take a walk through the cell complex. Numerous ghost stories and ghost appearances have also been observed. The 32-year-old ghost hunter, Tony Ferguson, is said to have recorded something on camera here. This video has also been picked up by the news and media. Take a look. Cornwall has always been a place with a lot of mystery and inexplicable things, and this is also the reason that it's on the list of one of the most haunting places in all of England. In the following video, a strange-looking ball of light is seen passing by the doorbell camera. The homeowner who was inside at the time received a notification on his phone, saying that movement had been detected at the front door. When they looked, they saw no one standing at the door. They decided to look back at the camera footage, and what they saw sent shivers down their spine. As you can see, at one point, the ball of light goes through the wall on the left side of the house and disappears again. The question is, what could this have been? The owner of the house decided to call the manufacturer who made the doorbell camera, and they said it was most likely an insect. But many people believe that this might have been the spirit of a deceased person who still lingers around the house to keep them safe. What do you think this could have been? Let me know in the comments. The men from the YouTube channel Exploring Abandoned Mines were in Mexico in February of 2019, investigating a 168-foot deep abandoned mine. After one of them decides to go down through a mine shaft, at some point the rope starts to get tangled. From the sound of his voice, he begins to find it very scary.
Oh, they're going down fast.
If this isn't scary enough, at a depth of 125 meters, he suddenly hears a sound of a voice saying, "Oh," and then a strange hissing sound.
What was that?
Many people in the comments are discussing what this could have been. Some think this was the sound of the rope scraping along the rock face, while others think that it was an animal or even a ghost. What do you think it could have been? Let me know in the comments. An interview broadcasted in Albania in 2017 was interrupted by a third presence. Both individuals are engaged in a conversation about something when something unexpected happens. The conversation abruptly comes to a halt when, out of nowhere, a newspaper flies off the table. It appears as if someone angrily tossed the newspaper away, but no one is visible on camera. When the host tries to pick it up, more newspapers on the table in front of him start moving, leading people to think it's a ghost or a demon. When spirits manifest themselves in this manner, it can be quite eerie. This video was uploaded on May 31st, 2012 to the YouTube channel Darsland. You probably already know that cats can be very agile, and this cat even managed to get to the top of the door and balance between the door and the other doorpost. You may be thinking, what's so strange about that? But if you look closely, a few seconds later, you can see a bluish thing fly by. The man recording the video says he found it very strange, and shortly after, the cat decides to jump back down to the ground. The video's description suggests that it's a possessed cat that saw something on the ceiling. Some people in the comments say it's a paper airplane, while others claim that it's a blue light orb. Light orbs are optical phenomena that believers in the paranormal consider to be spirits. Have you ever seen that moment in Captain America: Civil War where Steve Rogers gets into an elevator and is followed by the entire SWAT team? He was able to fight out thanks to his shield and enhanced skills. But is the same true for an average person? Here you would see what would happen if a dressed man stepped into an elevator on a normal workday, only to be stopped by the entire SWAT team. The suspense could almost be cut off with a knife. Should he recognize that he's effectively trapped between them, or should he wait for them to say something? What would you do in his place? FaZe Rug is a YouTuber with over 23 million subscribers. In this video that he uploaded on May 15, 2019, he explores an abandoned amusement park with two of his friends. He claims that the park has been abandoned since 1986. After climbing over a fence, they enter a building where it's pitch black, and they only have a phone with a light. They find a building with the words "Come inside" written on it, and after some hesitation, they decide to enter. When the door slowly opens, they see some paintings, including one of a family with a Christmas tree. There appears to be a ghostly apparition at the top of the tree. According to the owner of the amusement park, this building is the most haunted, and in many places that they walked, they felt a cold presence. At one point, something unexpected happens. When they arrive at another building, one of the girls feels like she's being watched. The events that follow are quite scary, and they immediately run back to the entrance.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you guys? Because I'm at a 10.
I'm at 11.
What?
Go in.
Go in.
Imagine you look out your window and suddenly see a creepy figure climbing a wall on all fours. You might think that this is a spider woman, or maybe it's a ghost. This creepy footage went viral on YouTube and all sorts of other social media platforms a few years ago. It was reportedly captured on camera somewhere near a hospital in India. According to local people, similar figures were said to have been observed often. However, the question is why this figure climbs the wall so easily, and why those dressed in white. Some people think it's a woman sleepwalking, although others believe it's a terrifying spirit. There's also those who believe it's a jinn, a supernatural creature from Arabic mythology. In this video, a journalist was reporting live on an incident happening on the highway behind her. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary. However, several people noticed a shadowy figure behind the woman, seemingly crossing the road. This moment reportedly occurred on the M11 outside of London, a spot known for reports of paranormal activity. According to some, the mysterious shadow is just a smudge on the screen. Others believe it's a ghost attempting to cross the road. One of the most reported sightings in the area is of a ghost hitchhiker, often seen near the junction of the M25, who then vanishes without a trace. Other reports suggest that the M11 might be haunted by the spirits of soldiers who died in a nearby area. Shocked. Number 3. This doorbell camera footage was picked up by multiple news sites in October 2017. The owner of the house claims the doorbell rang. When he took a look outside, he found nothing and nobody to be seen. After this happened one more time, he decided to check the camera footage, and he heard a pretty scary voice of a ghost or a demon. Just listen. Many people were quick to say that this could have been a poltergeist, while others noticed that the house was decorated with Halloween decorations, so it could be well that this was a hoax, although not everyone agreed. Whether it had been a ghost making noises or just a Halloween prank, I'll leave it to you to decide. The Clown Motel was founded in 1985 and is located in Tonopah, a small town in the US state of Nevada. As the name suggests, the motel is full of clown-like dolls. There are said to be over 2,000 of them, and one of them is not only the biggest, but also the scariest. Many employees who work at the motel claim to have seen the clown move. Near the motel, there's an old cemetery that was created in the 1900s to bury more than 300 people that reportedly got killed by the mysterious Tonopah plague. It's thus thought that the evil spirits moved into the motel to scare the visitors. Stories also circulate that room keys disappear, and that at night voices can be heard. The YouTube channel Paranormal Voyages decided to stay at the motel for a few nights and tried to communicate with the clown to make a move. However, very little happened that night, but once they were packing everything up, the only camera left on caught this.
You know what? I don't have a connection.
His hand just moved.
Everyone is shocked that the clown just moved his hand, but this wasn't all, because look what happens next.
It's down. It just moved. I just watched. Whoa.
What happened there?
Both hands fell.
Could this be proof that the clown is paranormal after all? What do you think? In May 1995, 35-year-old Army veteran Sean Nelson stole a M60A3 Patton tank from the National Guard Armory in San Diego, California. He then went on a rampage through a residential neighborhood, destroying cars, fire hydrants, and other property, causing panic. Sean had been going through a tough period in his life, including financial troubles, a failed marriage, and a conflict with his employer. He had also been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and reportedly wasn't taking his medication at the time of the incident. Police couldn't stop him as he drove the tank through the streets, and it only ended when a SWAT team climbed onto the tank. This video was originally uploaded to a TikTok account with a difficult name to pronounce. The woman is filming and playing with her dog when suddenly a dark figure appears from one of the rooms.
The dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God!
As you can see, the dogs certainly noticed this. According to the people in the comments, this would be a shadow figure. A shadow figure is the perception of a living humanoid figure seen by a believer of the paranormal as the presence of a spirit or entity. In the description, the woman says that she has moved since then, and that she can't believe that she has just been able to and that she couldn't believe that she had captured this on camera. So many people in the comments also believe that this is a real ghost sighting. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. During a live broadcast on KMTV in Omaha, Nebraska, reporter Karen Hafuda was covering a haunted house attraction. If you're not a fan of haunted houses or jump scares, you might want to look away. The tension builds up to an abrupt moment when a clown suddenly appears out of nowhere and startles her. The woman gets so frightened that she nearly falls over. She later revealed in an interview that she trembled for an hour after the camera stopped rolling. Would you have the same reaction? And are you a fan of haunted houses? Let me know in the comments. In the following video uploaded by the YouTube user named Nathan Hughes, we see a dog that's terrified of something. It seems like the dog saw something that made her very scared, and she's frozen in place. The owner even put out a dog treat, but the dog completely ignores it. Instead of lying calmly on the couch, the dog stares towards the kitchen. The owner of the dog decides to walk into the kitchen, but finds no one there. Several people in the comments think that the dog saw the ghost of a previous owner who used to live there, but has since passed away. It's certainly strange behavior, and it makes you wonder why the dog's so scared, and what it could be. Perhaps the dog saw an insect fly away, or maybe it really is something paranormal. How would you react if this happened to you as you stepped into an elevator? It's all fun and games until the elevator starts descending at an alarming speed. You can see the different reactions, people panicking, people falling over in terror, or people trying to lean on others. One woman is so scared that she even drops her lunch. What would your reaction be if you look outside and see chaos? Don't worry though, this video was a prank and wasn't a real event. In this video, we see Jesse and Gina, who used to be called Boyfriend vs. Girlfriend on YouTube. The video was uploaded on February 16, 2013, where they visit a haunted prison. They bring along a friend and another person who is likely giving them a tour. At one point, Gina challenges Jesse to sit alone in a spooky cell, but he eventually backs out. However, the scariest thing in this video happened while they're talking to each other. Take a look.
To see if he did. So I just for you now. And we did a seance.
It echoes so bad in here.
As you can see, a figure appears behind Jesse by the door on the left. People in the comments were discussing what it could have been. Some believe that it was a shadow figure or a ghost, while others think it was a person leaving the building. It's difficult to see, but there's definitely something by the door. What do you think it is? Let me know in the comments. Everyone loves going to a restaurant to eat, but what if you suddenly see a piece of meat rise up from the plate and jump off the table as if it's possessed? This video was shot somewhere in a Japanese restaurant. The video footage shows pieces of raw meat lying on a plate and suddenly starting to move. The internet also called this piece of meat the zombie chicken. Some people present in the restaurant started screaming out of fear. It's said that this was possibly caused by sauce being put on the meat that caused the muscle tissue to start contracting. Whatever it was, I think the person sitting at the table immediately lost their appetite for food. What would you do if you saw your food suddenly move? Let me know in the comments. If you've ever been afraid of alien invaders, robots, or lizard people, these eye glitches on people won't put your mind at ease. It's disconcerting how frequently the eyes of these individuals seem to change during a live broadcast. The most popular theory is that they are lizard people or some kind of shapeshifters. This video features a person with reptilian eyes captured during a live broadcast on Spanish TV. The broadcast continues normally until the reporter accidentally believes he's no longer on live TV. It's precisely at that moment we can see he has two sets of eyes, looking inhuman. However, some think it could just be a camera glitch. The following video of a supposed spirit sighting is said to be from the Philippines. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the original video, so I have no idea if this clip is real or not. When we analyze the video, we see someone approaching who appears to be going through a locked gate. It's difficult to see, but many people immediately believe that this was a ghost. Because how else could it be explained that this figure is walking through the closed gate? Several people say that it's possible that the figure climbed over the gate, but it's hard to see because the video is in poor quality. At one point, the figure approaches the camera and we can see that it's possibly a man wearing shorts. However, it remains unexplained how he managed to walk through the gate. What do you think's going on here? Let me know in the comments. During a live broadcast, a viewer spotted a possible ghostly apparition in the background at a cemetery. Specifically, the viewer claimed to have seen something behind the reporter on the left side of the screen. A shadow of light moves quickly across the screen and then disappears from view. Ghostly appearances in videos are a phenomenon observed and studied by paranormal researchers and enthusiasts. Some call them orbs, describing them as round, glowing shapes that appear in photos or videos. What do you think passes behind the woman? Could it be a ghost, or is there an alternative explanation? Some suggest it might be caused by dust, humidity, or other floating particles reflecting light. Given the location, a cemetery, the notion of it being a ghost isn't far-fetched. On the YouTube channel TFIL, with 2.76 million subscribers, a group of friends travel the world in search of unique experiences. In this video, they go to the Yorktown Memorial Hospital built in 1951. This is said to be the most haunted place in the state of Texas, and reportedly more than 2,000 people died here, and ghost nurses still haunt it today. Immediately after entering the building, they begin to hear noises and strange things seem to happen at the door. Just take a look. Before they enter the building, they were told by the caretaker that there's a little ghost girl named Stacy. If you read her a story from a book in the nursery room, she will listen and appear. Take a good look at this video in the lower right corner. This is what happens.
I'll change baby's diaper, Ellie asked. Of course. What the fuck was that? Did you hear that? Was that moving?
In September 2005, JetBlue Airways Flight 292 experienced a landing gear malfunction while taking off from Burbank, California, and was forced to make an emergency landing at Los Angeles International Airport. The incident was captured on video and drew significant media attention due to the dramatic image of the plane landing with its nose wheel sideways. The landing gear malfunction occurred when the plane's front landing gear failed to retract properly after takeoff, becoming stuck at a 90-degree angle. The plane circled above the Pacific Ocean for several hours to burn off fuel before attempting an emergency landing. The landing was executed with skill and caution, as the pilot gradually brought the nose section of the plane onto the runway. All 146 passengers and crew on board were safely evacuated. A YouTube user named Minister Paul uploaded a video in February 2013 showing a dog running around in a huge backyard. The dog's name is Ruby, a normally timid and quiet dog. In the video, the dog runs outside, likely because it heard or sensed something. The man grabs his camera to film it, and we see the dog looking at something on the ground, then getting scared by something. People in the comments think it could have something to do with the weather, a minor earthquake, or that the dog saw a ghost. The other dog, which is normally more dominant, decides to stay inside and doesn't want to go outside. It's unclear what Ruby sees or feels, but it seems like something's going on. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen that little sign that says elevators can hold a certain weight or number of people? That sign is there for a reason. This video shows an elevator can easily become overloaded because a lot of people get in. So when you see this warning, it's smart not to enter the elevator anymore. On some elevators, you'll also hear a beeping alarm sound. If I were to experience this in real life, I would rather take the stairs when I see so many people in the elevator at the same time. Would you? Exploring with Josh is a YouTube channel with over 4.3 million subscribers. It's one of the largest channels on YouTube that explores abandoned places. In this video called The Haunting of Hill House, they explore an abandoned house where an older woman is said to have lived. According to many stories, the house is haunted. The house is in disarray, and there are things scattered all over the floor. It seems like it was left this way when they left. As they explore the ground floor, this happens.
But I just want to make sure there's not like a homeless guy. Oh my god!
Suddenly, a door opens, which is quite scary because no one's around. It's as if the woman is telling them to leave the house. It's pretty creepy that the door opened out of nowhere when no one's around. One thing's for sure, if this happened to me, I would have run away a long time ago. In February of 2013, a video was uploaded by Meta Addison, in which we hear a creepy sound coming from the forest. No one knew if this sound came from a creature or maybe a witch was flying around. Listen for yourself. The video is said to have been recorded somewhere in the Umatilla Reservation, an area that extends to the northeast of the Blue Mountains mountain range in Oregon, USA. It would not have been the first time a similar sound has been captured on camera in this area. The 1,500 people who live there report often hearing terrifying sounds at night. One anonymous man says his dog has even become afraid to go outside. People in the comments think it might be foxes, while others say it might be a skinwalker, which is a creature that can turn itself from a witch into an animal. In this video, a driver navigates through a snowstorm in New York when they suddenly encounter something terrifying. The car's driver didn't notice, but someone watching the television during the live broadcast did. These video clips are from 2022, and if you look closely, you can see the driver passing by a skeleton-like creature that appears to be over 6.5 feet, or 2 meters tall. What would your reaction be if you encountered something like this? Hit the gas pedal to speed away, or turn around to investigate? The following story comes from a Reddit user named Sir Squid, in which he claims that when he's in bed at night, he regularly hears footsteps on the first floor. Every time he decides to take a look downstairs, he finds a number of items that have fallen off the cupboard. At first, he didn't think anything of it, but after this happened more and more often, he decided to put down a camera. What he found the following week was quite scary. The man's favorite chair standing in the living room started rocking back and forth out of nowhere, but the camera would capture even more ghostly activity. After a while, in fact, items from the cupboard fall onto the carpet. The reactions of the people on Reddit vary quite a bit. Some believe that a fan is causing the chair to move, while others believe that this is actually the work of a ghost. A program on Honduran television was presenting the morning news when something eerie happened live. Reporter Carlos Molina felt a shiver down his spine just seconds before his glass suddenly moved across the table as if being shifted by an invisible hand. This wasn't an isolated incident either. Another TV host attempted to grab her glass for a sip when the glass began to move on its own. After watching this clip, you might think twice before touching a glass again. The woman's awkward attempt to reach for the glass before finally grabbing it is also quite unsettling. This video I found is from an urban explorer from Japan who was exploring abandoned buildings and houses. I find the Japanese ghost videos a lot more creepier. When the man explores the house, all the furniture and things are scattered on the ground. At one point, he walks past a mirror twice. The second time he does this, a kind of ghost appears. Take a look. People in the comments said that this was the former owner of the house, and the ghost only appears when you enter the house with wrong intentions, and therefore do not respect the place. I don't know if this is really true. I couldn't find any info about it either, but I thought the video looked quite believable. That's why I added it to the list. What moment did you find the most terrifying on this list? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.